York's classic rock, Q1043.
Welcome back. Jonathan Clark in the studio with Roddy Walston in the business, or I should say 75% of the band, right? Welcome, guys. How are you?
Good. Kind of recovering from a couple of days of New York madness.
Oh, yeah. Music Hall of Williamsburg last night, right?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was fun. I saw a man belly flop.
I heard
right
there was a
onto it.
face plant.
Yeah.
So that's like a completely Spinal Tap, or like, I don't know if it's
School
even...
of Rock, right?
School
at the
of
beginning
Rock.
School of Rock.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, the guy jumped on stage, pointed at where he was going to go, Babe Ruthed it, and everyone went, nope. And he, like a beautiful swan, just closed his eyes and was out there and just poof.
Right on the floor.
Yeah.
No
they came
one...
back up like halfway through the set and did it again, and I guess everyone decided to participate this time. And
Did they catch him the
caught him.
second
They caught him
time?
the second.
Okay, so he had one good ride,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And
Wow.
a concussion.
The new oh man. The new album, Destroyers of the Soft Life, it's out September 29th. So it's Roddy and Billy and Logan with us. You guys toured nonstop on the last album, Essential Tremors. And from all the shows you played on the last tour, were you ever like, oh my God, I can't believe we're playing here? And if so, what was that place? There's probably a few of them, I would think, right?
Yeah, Bonnaroo was.
We kind of got to be the prime spot on Thursday night at Bonnaroo, which Bonnaroo Thursday night is kind of like there's no big act. There's no like surprise Bruce Springsteen's here or something.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's like surprise you got to go see a band you might not have heard of or only have thought about checking out, you know. And we got like the slot at like 10 o'clock at, you know, this rad
Wow.
tent. And it was nuts.
Is it
I mean,
insane
it
looking
felt-
out at that crowd? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wild.
I mean, I think it was, I can't remember if it was 5,000 or 8,000 people or something, but which, particularly at that point, was massive
right,
for
yeah.
us. And it felt like the tent was going to come down. It was crazy, man. And like, you know, you think, oh, Friday night and then Saturday, people flame out so hard at Bonnaroo that like midday Friday even, there's people
They're
there,
toasted, right?
They're done.
Yeah.
So we got everybody fresh and stoked.
Oh, that's
you know,
good.
So that was rad. And then probably playing the show Austin City Limits.
Oh, ACL, yeah, right, yeah.
Was like, so we walked in and saw the posters, not only of past acts, but the ones for that season. And it
Right.
was kind of like, why did they invite us to do this?
why are we here?
Yeah.
But I always think when bands like you guys are still like, you know, I'm not going to say emerging, but you're sort of on your way up. Like each record gets bigger and better. Your audiences get bigger. You sell more concert tickets. But when you walk out on a stage like that, is it like disorienting to have all of that room?
You have to learn. Yeah. So, I mean,
Are you like shouting at each other, hey,
Yeah.
waving at each other like the side of the stage? Like,
That's probably like a moment of conflict, honestly, loading on, and because we are at a point where the stages are like expanding and contracting sort of night to night. So
yeah.
it feels good as a band to be close to each other, but then it's like, but there's all this real estate to the wings, like and we don't, you know, we're just up there with amps. It's not like we have light shows going on and
Yeah.
backdrops and stuff.
Not
And
yet.
So, yeah, not yet. Lots of smoke and flames coming up for January. But yeah, so we kind of are constantly going like, should you be? It's like a weird moment of tension, I think.
Yeah,
still,
yeah.
As far as figuring out where everybody's, how tight we're going to be versus taking up as much of the space on stage. But
There are so many metaphors that come to mind, but it's just really cool that in Richmond, Virginia, you rented out what used to be a grenade factory for World War II,
yeah,
and then you built a recording studio in it.
right.
I mean, how soon did you find out that it was a grenade factory? When you were like, was the real estate guy like, oh yeah, by the way?
No, there was no real estate. I mean, this place, it was like we were bargaining with cats to break in through the door or whatever. Like, but I honestly, I didn't even, was it Garland, the guy who owns it, that told us?
Yeah, he just kind of casually.
This
I think it
was
when he
months
warned
in,
us
you
about
know.
cold.
Months in,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, he
You
kinda
signed the
just-
lease and the whole. Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't like we put a Craigslist ad looking for some munitions.
Dump.
Yeah, like anyone got a place where arms were built before. So yeah, we were in there, and he's a really funny guy. Like, would just one of those guys that just rattles off story after story. Like, oh yeah, that's like the time I got drunk and passed out on the bay and crashed into Maryland. Also, this is a grenade factory. Like, what the heck?
Were you guys walking extra carefully after you heard this? I mean,
It's more like breathing extra carefully because I had a like 6 months condition that I called warehouse hands, and it was just like no matter how many times I wash my hands, black would just run off.
Right.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I'm sure Logan had it too, but yeah, bad lung time.
So no grenades were discovered. No relics or anything like that were dangerous. And
I mean, that working on the studio was dangerous.
Yeah.
We didn't know what we were doing. So we were like unplugging electrical panels, having looked on YouTube going, how do I?
oh, right. Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, don't do this.
Yeah, the
All right,
YouTube
they were
searches,
clear.
the YouTube searches must have been interesting that you were typing
I
in.
honestly was like, I bet I'm on a government watch list right now.
Oh, it's J. Roddy Walston in the business in the studio with us. Their new album, Destroyers of the Soft Life, coming out September 29th. You guys played the album in its entirety for us at Electric Ladyland the other night. Fantastic new album, by
Thank
the
you.
way.
Thank
Great job. And first of all, it totally rocks. Second of all, it's a really big sounding record
Yeah.
made in a grenade factory.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we kind of, that was like a mentality that we set out early on, was like, we wanted to make a big hi-fi sounding record, which sounds counterintuitive that what we did then is build our own studio. But, yeah, a lot of times I don't know. There's a lot of records that I like that are either vibey and sort of sonically not what call great, I guess, or whatever. I mean, they sound cool, but they're not like
Right, yeah.
just your speakers rattling. They don't have a low end, or the middle's gone, or whatever. And yeah, we all just kind of were like, we want to do something that's cool and artistic and has really different textures, but we want it to sound big, like
Yeah.
our favorite.
Well,
big
mission
records.
accomplished,
Yeah, thank
by
you.
the way. Are you releasing this album on cassette, too?
Yeah, I think, well,
Because I saw a
think that's
cassette
like
on your
art.
website.
Yeah, I think art has driven, so me and the band and buddies have been collaborating on the art and the ideas and the way things are rolling out. And like, this thing happened, and then it was like, well, now we have to make a tape. And I was like, yeah, okay. I mean, it's like, how much is it on purpose, and how much of it you just act like it was all part of
Right.
the plan?
So it
was all part
started
of
with
the
a
plan.
photo of a cassette on the website, and now
That was
it's
a real tape. I mean, we went out
Yeah.
and like, I very much try to avoid using computers for art as
Yeah.
much as possible. So we did that. We made that tape. It
Yeah.
Just, then everyone's like, well, what? Are we gonna make tapes? And I was like, I guess we are now.
Oops.
Yeah.
I think Joe Walsh released his last solo album on 8-track.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah. Or maybe that was Cheap Trick. I can't remember.
That's
Made
good.
like 50 of them,
Yeah.
something just for the hell of it,
Yeah. I think it's rad.
Tell us what you mean by Destroyers of the Soft Life.
Well, I don't really have like I'm not. I guess what I've committed to is I'm not gonna just straight up define that term, at least soft life as a
Yeah.
term, because I think it's the way I've put it is I think it's like a combination of words that kind of do their job. Like I feel like it evokes image, but one that
Yeah.
you should have a different thing than when I think
Like a song, like
yeah.
the lyrics in a
Yeah,
song.
yeah,
Absolutely.
But I would say it's something around, this life, like not on purpose, like just stuff coming and you go, okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
It's life.
Yeah, I guess that's what I got pushed into the street. I guess that's where I'm standing now. Or something,
Right. Exactly.
That's not necessarily the soft life, but that's a starter for you if you want to go down the road thinking
Yeah.
about what the title means, I guess.
So you are a new father. Congratulations.
Thank you. That was on purpose.
Mission accomplished. That's got to change your perspective a little bit on things, right?
Yeah. Way more familiar with human fecal matter. And, no, yeah, it changes everything.
Yeah.
Not I didn't make a record that was like me talking to my kid or
Right.
whatever. But it I mean, even in the sense of thinking about the way people use computers and all that kind of stuff, like I think I'm the only person on the planet, at least the one that I know of, that there's an absolute rule of no pictures of the kid on the internet. Like,
That's cool.
and not just because of me being in a band and not wanting some people being like, I love your band. How's your kid doing? And I'm like, no, I don't want you to talk about my kid, really. Like,
yeah.
But even though, like, the internet's real, the internet, I think, is here to stay. And I think people are making decisions for their kids before they have the ability to talk about it. And it's like, I have friends that think that they're investing in their kids by creating social media accounts for them that they're going to hand off.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I'm like, this is jack.
Yeah, they have a new Instagram account. Yeah, they're like a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to get to 10,000 by 2.
I kind of feel like there's gonna be like weird like lawsuits, like from kids of like, you wrecked my life by like putting all this stuff that I had no control over.
And I think, I mean, everyone is proud of their child, but there are people that literally like post stuff like every hour.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
I mean,
from the day they're born.
I can't totally say if it's right or wrong, but for me, it felt like I'd rather err on not doing it. And later, the kid being like, oh, I wish you had. I'm like, too bad I
Right.
didn't.
Yeah, thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
So we brought some guitars with us, and you guys want to play a live song for us?
We're just gonna smash them.
Smash it, yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
And if so, just tell us about the song and then go for it.
This song is called Numbers, and it's probably the closest to something like a love song or a song about actual romantic relationship, but it'd be a really, I don't know, weird one to be in. There's lots of lines being crossed or blurred, or the amount of people involved is probably off in comparison to most people's life. I don't know if that explained anything, but trying to obscure as much as I can in this interview. Yeah. Love me till you're lonely, and hate me so you won't be. And you and I, we turn the blind eye. Now let me get it straight then. A little love and hate band. You and I, and we turn the blind eye. And you don't know, but I see it now. You say you changed, but you won't say how. You're speaking white lies lately. You tell the truth, but only if maybe. The one I want, they did a number on me. You wanted to, but you're a little lazy. A company of 3's in the making. I'm here for what's here for the taking. I got a 5 ring finger right hand. I'm 6 deep and half a dozen warnings. 7 days a week, no weekends. Eliminates 9 out of 10, and I'm counting on you lately. I'm counting on you lately. On account of the way the numbers don't align now, do they? Forgive me now, 'cause I won't. You said you'd leave if I don't. And you and I, we turn the blind eye. And now I know you see it too. You say you change, but you never do. You're speaking white lies lately. You tell the truth, but only if maybe. The one I want, they did a number on me. You wanted to, but you're a little lazy. A company of 3's in the making. I'm here for what's here for the taking. I got a 5 ring finger right hand. I'm 6 deep and half a dozen warnings. 7 days a week, no weekends. Eliminates 9 out of 10, and I'm counting on you lately. I'm counting on you lately. On account of the way the numbers don't align now, do they? Oh, 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 You got a blind eye open, you choose to see. You got a blind eye open, you're looking at me. You saw your sister, your brother, a white lie lover. A little bit of this and enough for the other. together, cause I got a white lie now I use on myself. I got another white lie for everyone else. You just know the words, you don't know what they mean. I don't need the truth, just give me something I believe. Cause the numbers don't lie now, do they? The numbers don't lie now, do they? The same amount that you gave me, it took to pay to love you, baby.
Yeah, Billy and Logan on the Crosby, Stills, and Nash harmonies, man. Kicking ass with J. Roddy Walston in the business in the studio with us. Their new album is Destroyers of the Soft Life, out September 29th. So was it good to go out and play these new songs at Music Hall of Williamsburg last night? Was that the first like proper sort of gig after everything, or you've been playing other places, or?
This is the first one. So we have 2 songs out on whatever.
On the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the first one since the second song, Know Me Better, came out. And yeah, it was rad. I mean, like we've talked about, it's been a kind of heavy couple of days of like going in, recording, interviews. We had the party, and that was the first time I've ever been in that situation of having a party of like, I don't know you, here's my record, listen to it while I look at you in the eye or whatever.
And I turned it up.
Yeah, good job, by the way. But it, yeah, it's been rad. I mean, we've been inside this thing for so long.
Oh
so
yeah, I can imagine. Yeah,
it's kind of like, you know, we're doing rehearsals and we're like, we should play that one. We should definitely play that one. But the record's not out yet, you know. And so, like, we kind of have to keep pulling it back just so it's not like people standing there going, I don't know any of these songs, and I just paid to see, like, you know.
Oh no,
you know, like.
But I think it's got to be the fun part of the whole sort of creative process to get out and play them. Yes, it's work. You got to do the interviews and the promo and everything. But like, you know, for that 2 hours on stage, it's probably worth it.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah. And even like, really just getting to play the stuff on a big stage, like a big PA.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You think you know how the songs sound, and you've recorded them, and that's its own thing. But being on a big stage with subs kind of rattling and the low end kind of taking over the room, it I don't know, you start to get inside the songs in a different way. Even doing stuff like this, you know, really, Logan and I were talking about when we were walking yesterday, we'd gone to get coffee, and the other day we did a song on Off the Record, and it was kind of the first time I talked about it and first time we performed it in front of people really, and it like stopped being the chopped up, you know, separated tracks on a screen or whatever, you know, and all of a sudden was the song again as I had written it when it, you know, first kind of came in to my whatever headspace, and I'm like experiencing listening to the song as a song again, maybe for the first time, not going, is the bass loud enough, or, you know.
Right,
you
yeah.
It was like, this is a song, and this is
Got to
like,
retake that hi-hat.
Yeah,
Got to retake that hi-hat.
And we're like playing it live, and I was sitting there going like, oh, I have to hold it together. Like, this is actually hitting me pretty hard, you know, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, so it's cool. Yeah, it's kind of, you start to understand the songs again, or they start to grow up, I guess.
So are you still bringing the 300-pound upright piano?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a name for that piano?
Like hernia, maybe. We've added pieces to it, actually. Now there's like some, I don't know, crazy prog rock looking keyboard setups on top of it. So it's now like
Chris
a Mad
Martin
Max
does
version.
the same thing. It's all painted like weird day glow hippie colors and stuff, but he still kept it, you know. And you love playing that thing, right? You don't really
I have
like
a relationship with it now. You know?
Yeah. So it's J. Roddy Walston in the business. The new album is out September 29th, Destroyers of the Soft Life. What always amazes me about songs is sometimes, and I'm sure this has happened to you with some of your favorite bands, you'll hear like this, of course, you know, you first hear the beats, you hear the music in your headphones or the speakers or whatever, and you're like, oh, this is really good. This is almost like sort of an anthemic sort of thing. And then you look at the lyrics,
right?
And it's not necessarily happy. It's you know, or whatever. But I mean, that happens a lot with some of my favorite songs. It's like,
absolutely.
And Father John Misty is like a really great example of that. Like incredible like songs and production. And he's like, wait, what did he say?
Yeah.
You know, kind of darkly humorous, especially with him. But I wanted to ask you about The Wanting, which is a song I've been playing on this show. Tell us about that song, and then we'll play it off the album.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's not like it's not a lighthearted kind of lyrically, not like a lighthearted like summer jam.
Right.
But we released it at the beginning of the summer, so roll your windows down and sort of talk about relationships falling apart, I guess. But I mean, at its sort of genesis or the inspiration point, it was about a sort of family dynamic of sort of this family history of hateful, awful, terrible, monstrous things. And
Sounds like a typical American family to me.
right. And basically like the entire, like particularly maybe the one character, but the males in the family just being like, this is too much, and like all deciding to not have kids, and like in the family.
Yeah.
Completely. And sort of, and kind of a sort of meditation on bad or evil acts kind of having permanent consequences, but also the right and moral thing having permanent consequences. You
Right,
know? And
yeah.
like, even though you're doing the right thing, you still sometimes suffer for it, or and it's
So
still,
you're
it's worth
lucky
doing
you
it.
can write songs. So a lot of people can't write songs and get that stuff out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
J. Roddy Walston in the business, the new album, Destroyers of the Soft Life. It's out September 29th. I'm sure you're coming back to New York City to play, right? I mean, you'll be back here, right?
No, we're done.
I certainly hope so. We want you back.
Yeah,
man.
well, I'm sure we'll be back. I don't know if there's anything actually on the books yet, but I'm sure we'll be back.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, this show technically wasn't on the books, and then all of a sudden it was. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Guys, thank you so much and best of luck. Stay safe on the road, and we'll see you back here soon.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Got it?
New York's classic rock, Q1043.